A little bit more of a sit-down video today. This didn't really justify holding my phone and moving around the room because I have some thoughts about Mr. Beast's channel. I don't think I've ever talked about him in a video before, but I've met people that are kind of split on him, and I've met people who think it's cringy or too much clickbait or just like all the stuff they hate about YouTube. But at the same time, you gotta admit the guy grinds to get videos up, and it's completely justified as to why all of his videos get so many views, because the guy is insanely generous and gives away like millions of dollars, and that's not an exaggeration. In certain videos, he'll just be like, okay, whoever, wins this certain game gets to keep a house, keep a car, keep an island. Yeah, they even did that. And behind the scenes, I'm sure it is much more complicated than the videos make it out to be. And I think that's why the Mr. Beast effect has been so successful, is he's been able to do things that not anybody can do. It's not easy to just like buy up houses or buy up supercars and then just start giving them away and incorporating them into like 30-second segments, right? That's like the most crazy, like, face-palming part of watching his content is when he's like, oh yeah, so I bought 3 houses, or oh, okay, so I bought 40 cars and we're gonna try to give away 40 cars, or people have to spend $10,000 in 30 minutes and I'm just gonna film them and see what happens. They all make for really great, like, short bits of like, wait, what? You did that? But then when you think of the logistics behind everything else, you start realizing how much work and how complicated it is to do things that he does in his videos, like, are you gonna pay the taxes on that house? Who's gonna, sign the agreement and the paperwork? Who actually owns it? And does the people you're giving away these cars to have to pay taxes on those? And taxes already are fairly complicated for, fairly average everyday people. Now imagining what happens when you start giving away tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Yeah, I bet taxes get, exponentially more complicated, but we don't get to see too much of that. And he's had an insane growth story. I've been watching him since before he hit 10 million subscribers, whether he's filling a backyard with Orbeez or filling a house with slime or foam. It's always pretty crazy, and I have to admit, like, as time has gone on and as the channel has grown, I haven't been, like, terribly in love with the content itself, and that's no disrespect towards Mr. Beast or his staff. It's just not really the type of content that I find super interesting on YouTube, maybe as much as I used to. Back when he first started, there was a lot more videos of him just like donating to streamers and just watching people's reaction and their face light up when it's like, hey, we just donated $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. Getting people's reaction is entertaining, but since then it's kind of grown into a channel that I think a lot of more younger demographics are interested in, and that's fine. I'm not against it. And there's probably, once you go past the 30 million subscriber mark on YouTube, it's kind of hard to find channels that aren't a little bit cringy or do things that cater towards a wide demographic of ages, and you start to go, okay, is this what like mainstream YouTube has become? The overly loud and enthusiastic, like, what's up guys, welcome back to today's challenge video. It starts to get into that a little bit too much. But I am almost more fascinated by his content, and I'm more watching it nowadays because I'm just so fascinated by the finance side of things. I just like knowing that, wait, he had to go through the work of buying this property or buying all these cars and signing over the paperwork. And I must at the same time say, like, he's had insane growth and obviously had a huge amount of success. He's opening restaurants now. I'm quarantined, so I've not been able to visit, but I would love to try a Mr. Beast burger someday, maybe on the next inevitable road trip. But at the same time, with all this growth and all this success, I can confidently say I do not envy that. And I also think that when videos are presented to people in such a simplistic manner and they come across as so basic, like, oh yeah, I'm giving away this car, I'm giving away this house, or whoever wins this challenge gets $100,000 or whatever, it sounds very simple, but all of the work that has to go into every video must be backbreaking. And I also think the most challenging part of running a channel like Mr. Beast's is the, like, ethical dilemma of when you start demonstrating on the internet that you are generous and that you're willing to give away all this money and basically do 4 to 5 giveaways like in every single piece of content you upload, there's a bit of expectancy moving forward where people just start to assume you better be giving away $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 in every single video, otherwise you're not impressive anymore. You'll be a has-been and you'll be like, oh, remember when he used to do those giveaways? Now he doesn't, kind of sucks now. So Mr. Beast, if any of you have been watching him for a while, has had to continuously kind of grow and expand how much money or the heights of each of his videos, the stakes get higher, the giveaways get higher, and with that and with fame comes this certain extent of entitlement where more and more people are going to start contacting him, and I'm sure he's aware of this, and over time more people are going to be like, hey, there's this organization or there's this really noble cause we want you to support, and when you are proving to the internet how much money you're willing to give away, you are going to attract all kinds of people that are going to start asking for funding or asking for donations. And I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm not saying that, oh, the money hungry people are going to start wanting money for themselves. And sure, there is that. You know, in every comment section of those Mr. Beast videos, you're going to get, you know, tens of thousands of children saying, Mr. Beast, I want a new iPhone. Mr. Beast, can you get me a Tesla? I would really like it and appreciate it. Sure, it attracts all of the, you know, just like wanty people. But the truth is, it also attracts a lot of the needy. And it's going to attract a lot of people that actually do have noble causes with things that really could justify getting that type of donation. And I think Mr. Beast has done a great job at doing his best to prioritize those. In a lot of his videos, he's helping homeless shelters and giving them food or donating to various charities and that kind of thing, and making sure the money goes to the right way. But if you're at the same time doing videos where you're giving away Lamborghinis and giving away houses, how is that gonna make these other charities that haven't been selected, or these other children's homes or other noble causes, whether it be like debt relief or homeless shelters, if they start trying to contact Mr. Beast, and because he's so busy and he's trying to grow his channel, is unable to get to them or unable to contact them, then they're thinking, okay, here's this great guy who's got lots of money, we're asking for help and we think it would make a big difference, but he's giving away houses and he's giving away fancy cars or islands, and the moral responsibility that must be on his shoulders as the guy in charge, as the guy who's, you know, calling a lot of these shots, it must be really tough. And I can't imagine the type of backbreaking work that has to go into, okay, we're gonna do another 24-hour challenge, or all of my friends or whatever gotta get together and we're gonna decorate these houses, or we're gonna have to rent out this football field, or we're gonna have to contact someone to do this. And how long can that business model really keep up? Like, I'm amazed by it because not the content itself is really that entertaining to me, but just thinking of the logistics behind what makes the content possible is what's fascinating, because he's always trying to top himself. He always wants to do something bigger, and he wants to grow and do something even more crazy than the last video, which is really difficult to keep up when he's put the stakes and he's put the giveaway numbers so incredibly high. So he's constantly trying to do better and do bigger and make a bigger deal out of the next video, while at the same time you're going to have this growing number of people that are like, hey, we really need that money and it could make a difference. Why are you giving away all this stuff? And that's a running problem with any type of success, is there's a surrounding environment of people that feel either entitled or deserving of whatever money or resources you have. And especially when you've made a name for yourself by giving stuff away and being overly generous, everyone starts to think, I'm going to be the next recipient of that. I'm going to receive the next big donation. And I'm very curious long term to see how his channel does, because I'm wondering, how long can he keep raising the stakes? How long can he keep making a bigger video or a bigger challenge or giving away more money than before? And I've heard kind of through the grapevine that the MrBeast channel itself doesn't actually make that much money, because basically all the money each video makes between the AdSense and the sponsorship is basically the budget for the next video. And he's been diversifying a bit with MrBeast Gaming, which still does the financial giveaways and stuff, but apparently it's a bit more profitable than the regular MrBeast channel. And of course he's selling merch and all that kind of stuff to raise money, so it's got to be challenging. And I respect the grind he has, because I'm looking at how much he does and how much he's able to accomplish, and I'm like, there is not enough time in the day for me to even fathom all the work that would require. And of course all of the contacting and all of the people reaching out to you and trying to get funding and that kind of thing. It's got to be tough. So it's amazing, it's inspiring to see someone work that hard, and I think that he doesn't get enough credit because people probably look at MrBeast and just think, oh, well, he's really rich and he gives it all away. But in reality, I think he puts more work into his channel than the vast majority of YouTube, and by making really complicated videos look simple and look easy, he's been able to make such a successful channel. And at the same time, I do not envy that. It sounds like a whole lot of work, sounds like a huge amount of overhead and a huge amount of complexities when it comes to taxes and figuring out who you're going to work with or who you're going to donate to. There'd be just a tremendous ethical and moral weight on my shoulders running that channel, so I gotta give him props. And I'm not necessarily here just to say everybody should go subscribe to him, because, you know, I've met a lot of people that don't really care for that type of content. It's a little bit too, I don't know what the word is, hype beast, or or a little bit too much clout chasing for certain demographics. And I know a lot of people that have seen his videos and just been like, that's not interesting to me. But at the same time, I would love to see a MrBeast finance channel where they dive into the actual specifics of how they make all of these giveaways work and how they donate money to certain places and where that money comes from and that type of thing. It might be too personal, but anyway, that's just the side of MrBeast I would be much more interested in. And above all this, the crazy thing to imagine about MrBeast is I'm pretty sure me and him are the same age or pretty close to the same age. Man, if I'm older than MrBeast, I'm just gonna rethink all of my life decisions. But anyway, love to hear your guys' thoughts on the channel. Do you think it's more complicated or more simple than they make it seem? Feel free to let me know. Thank you all for watching. Have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.